Hello everyone and welcome to Zeenam Astrology. I'm continuing my series on the Nakshatra videos, and I'd like you to join me on this journey to take you over the sea of life. In the Vedic Hindu system of astrology, known in Sanskrit as Jyotish, the 27 constellations are not the 12 star signs of the zodiac, are the key to understanding celestial influences on our planet and on our person. These 27 constellations are known as the 27 Nakshatras or stars, spanning 13 degrees 20 minutes each, and they are further divided into 4 padas of 3 degrees and 20 minutes. Jump in and journey with me on this Vedic astrology for the Nakshatra series. When we take a deeper look into the nakshatras, or the division of the sky into the signs, the rashis, the nakshatras, the stars and the padas, this is what we see. The zodiac sky is divided into 12 signs, starting from Aries and ending with Pisces. And each of these zodiac or rashi signs are divided into nakshatras, which are further divided into padas, and each rasi or sign has 9 padas and can therefore have 3 nakshatras in each rashi. The nakshatras represent the abodes into which the fruits of our labor, or as we say, our karma, is transferred and stored. The nakshatras then dispense the fruits of this karma depending on the placement of our grahas or planets and the bhavas or houses which are assigned to each of the rasis. Based on a person's moon nakshatra at the time of birth, Jyotish offers a more powerful or predictive technique compared to other forms of astrology. And we can see the details garnered here from the zodiac into the nakshatras, which are the stars, and the padas of the nakshatras, which are the dharma, artha, karma and moksha. The 12 zodiac signs equates to 360 degrees. One zodiac sign or rashi equates to 30 degrees. One nakshatra measures 13 degrees 20 minutes, and one pada equates to 3 degrees 20 minutes. And this is what Vedic astrology uses as its analytical tool, its basic analytical tool to guide you over the sea of life. I urge you again to join me on this journey over the sea of life. Jump in and journey with me. Shatabhishak Nakshatra has as its symbol an empty circle, which represents the unknown, mystery and self-containment. The empty circle is a symbol which signifies also a void or an empty space. The persons born under this nakshatra have the ability and interest to explore the mysteries of the universe and delve deep to find out the secrets of the unknown. They work with a steady pace of hard work and wisdom that gives guidance from the elders with this nakshatra. It's a Rahu ruled nakshatra, and we need to be careful in that our goals may and dreams may outshine or outthink our ability. And this is one of the weaknesses of the nakshatra. Shatabhishak counters difficult karmas through divine grace and repentance. These include not only diseases but difficulties of all kinds, including sin. Ashwini is a compatible nakshatra to Shatabhishak, since they both deal with horses, because the symbol for the Shatabhishak nakshatra is a female horse also. And we have Ashwini with the twin horses, but Ashwini gives quick healing. Shatabhishak does not. It gives you a long-term healing that brings about revitalization, regeneration, and this is the difference between the two. Shatabhishak also can be challenging as a birth star for early marriage. It brings obstacles, it brings delays, it brings tension that contravenes what a marriage should be. Rahu, as the ruling planet of this asterism, indicates a love for travel and adventure. So that these are some of the summary of the Shatabhishak Nakshatra symbol of an empty circle, and we can take that and learn what potential can be for us if we are born in this nakshatra, or for employees or relationships that we may have, that we can see how we can deal with persons or people who have Shatabhishak as their birth star. Lord Varuna is the deity of this nakshatra, and long ago Varuna was among the Vedic gods, who was among the 12 Adityas born from sage Kashyap and Aditi, and he was considered as the supreme god of the cosmos who controlled various aspects of the universe like the sky, water, oceans, rain, etc. And he did this because they also believed that he had 1,000 eyes. So with 1,000 eyes you can see everything. He made people pay for their misdeeds, but he also rewarded persons who repented after they committed sins and were guilty of these acts. He forgave them. He was known to be the King of gods who watched over us from his heavenly abode. He's also shown as holding a noose made of a snake and riding a makara, or a sea monster. In the later Hindu scripts, Varuna lost much of his importance to the triumvirate, or the Trimurti, which is Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and Lord Vishnu. And this is what happens to most of those deities in the earlier period of the Sanskrit texts. They are overcome, or they are taken apart and made into others. But he is still considered to be the protector of truth and righteousness. He was also closely associated with Lord Mitra, so that when you see Lord Varuna, you compare him or align him with Lord Mitra, because they help to establish order in the world. And they continue to both have ritual in the Sanskrit and Vedic astrology, and they are invoked together in a lot of the Hindu and Vedic hymns, so that Lord Varuna still is worshipped by some rituals up to this day. Here we have the fixed stars of the Shatabhishak Nakshatra, ranging from 640 degrees to 20 degrees Aquarius, and you find you have a mixture of destruction and growth. Saturn and Venus are fortunate at 5 degrees in Aquarius in the nakshatra, the fixed star here, where you get keen intellect, good for business, military analysis, and such. But if we go across to 13 degrees 51 in Aquarius, we have the Wheel of Fortune, where bites from venomous creatures. It's unfortunate with Saturn and Jupiter. So that, we have a mixture here. And I suppose it's all because Rahu is the great illusionist and the ruler of this nakshatra in Aquarius. And Aquarius is an airy sign, so that it can move either which way. And this is what the stars, the fixed stars, gives us in Aquarius. We also have, Olne at 15 degrees 54, which is active, proud, watchful, kind, devoted, the bright one, and it's fortunate if Mercury and Jupiter is there. But when we go further down, closer to the end of this, which is 2012 Aquarius, we have Castra, which is destructive, uncontrollable temper, malevolence, and it's unfortunate if you have Saturn and Jupiter there. So you find a mixture, so that Rahu and Aquarius with Saturn kind of give you a topsy-turvy, up and down kind of roller coaster ride through these stars, so that you never know really which way is up And probably that's why healing is such a long-term facet for this nakshatra, in that you require that long-term drive, that long-term healing to really be healed by the chaos that could be the fixed stars of this nakshatra. And here we have a summary of what each pada in the Shatabhishak Nakshatra can give us. And we start off with the first pada being in Sagittarius, so obviously it ends with Pisces. And we have the third pada being Vargotama, and the fourth pada being Pushkara, so that we have some blessings coming to us, even though there might be chaos or dissonance in the fixed stars that we just went through, and the healing with Rahu and Saturn wanting to, juxtapose each other in terms of how and what they signify for us in Shatabhishak Nakshatra. The second pada, which deals with Artha and wealth and resources, falls in the Capricorn zodiac sign, Navamsh, and it's ruled by Saturn, and it is practical and methodical, but the native may become over ambitious. So these are some of the things that we look at, and we have the tendency to get cheated in the first, we have natives being far-sighted in the third, but hot-tempered or eccentric, and in the last we have the focus on compassion and healing, with jibes with the Shatabhishak Nakshatra being 100 stars or 100 healers. So, this is just a summary, a very short summary, because there are more details in this, and you can find out more by visiting my website at zidamastrology.com. Here we have the zodiac characteristics of Aquarius, the Rashi that Shatabhishak is positioned in. And Saturn is the owner of Aquarius. It is a fixed sign. Lord Shiva is the deity associated with Aquarius. It is the 11th natural house of the Kala Purush. And we have Dhanishta, Shatabhishak, and Purva Bhadrapada in this Rashi. And Dhanishta is ruled by Mars and the Astavasu. Shatabhishak is ruled by Rahu and Lord Varuna. And Purva Bhadrapada is ruled by Jupiter, and the deity there is Aja Ekapada. So that the tarot card, the star here, brings hope and inspiration from unexpected sources. The crystal is lapis lazuli, and we have other things there that I have put together in terms of a summary to give me a good feeling and a good analysis of what is happening when we deal with planets posited in Aquarius, and why certain people behave certain ways. So this is another flashcard, as I say, that I use to analyze Shatabhishak and planets or grahas posited in Aquarius, and which will give you a better reading on your Kundali or birth chart report when you request it from zidamastrology.com. A further analysis for your birth chart would be Rahu characteristics in Aquarius and how Rahu behaves. And we say Ketu takes away what Rahu gives. And Rahu is in this nakshatra where Aquarius is ruled by Saturn, and both the planets are airy and they share a positive relationship, because we also say that Rahu is the shadow planet of Saturn. So however, persons are under the strong influence of the air element. They think outside the box, and sometimes way outside the box, because having two air elements really puts you in a bind at times as to making a decision. So maybe you are not decisive, but you have a lot of thoughts, you have a lot of solutions, you have a lot of schemes and strategies. Natives here have strong desires and high aspirations, and they have a tendency to build castles in the air, which I just indicated. And Saturn is concerned with society and status. And when Rahu is placed in its sign, the person has a tendency to seek that social recognition, and that recognition from society about the status and how they view themselves and others. And such people want to be admired and respected in their social fare. Rahu is the ruler of Shatabhishak, and Rahu often affects the health of the native or the person born in this star, and you suffer detachment from loved ones. You don't really want to be part and parcel of that family oriented. You want society to recognize you. And it's a positive placement, however, with Rahu there, because Rahu is all about finances and material resources, so that your financial prospects can receive a boost with a Rahu placement here. um, the earning wealth, or your own efforts in earning wealth, is enhanced here also. You have strong willpower to do things outside the box. You have a tendency though to spend on luxury items, and while you care for a place in society, you can only earn the recognition from society through your own efforts with Rahu in Aquarius. And Rahu is where we, in terms of life circumstances, put all our obsessions and instinctual drives where energy or ambition is concerned. We can be dark and destabilizing, but the experience of it can impel us to see God, and that we are not cut off from God, but actually one with God and everyone else. The North Node, which is Rahu, represents the area of our life of future destiny. In Vedic astrology, planets mature at certain specified age, and Rahu matures at the age of 48, so that we can have all the wisdom from the elders coming into play at that age for us to understand that some things we may want, but we don't need. And this is the time that we really learn to work with our demons in a spiritual way, because we recognize God and Bhagwan in our lives. Here we have been through some of this already in terms of the 100 stars and Shatabhishak. We've been through Rahu, Varuna, empty circle. I touched on Lord Shiva, and at the end of the day, these are some of the characteristics of the flashcard that I've put together to give me an insight into how to analyze Shatabhishak Nakshatra and planets posited here, so that we have the raven as the bird. I spoke about the animal being the female horse. Crystal, we mentioned lapis lazuli already, and the star as one of the tarot cards. The next tarot card is the King of Swords, and the King of Swords is a matured person, and we just went through the maturity of Ra, who is the owner of Shatabhishak, at age 48, so that you might find that before 48 you may still have these dreams and strategies that you can't implement, but as you get older you would recognize that you have to make things happen through your own effort. And Ghana here is Rakshasha. And Rakshasha doesn't mean really demon. It means that you have the drive, you have the aggression, you have the capability and the energy to move forward. It doesn't make you a demon or a devil or an evil person. It just gives you a kind of personality that is driven, that is obsessive. And once you know that you have it, you can temper it. And these are the things that we tell you from Vedic astrology that can help you, that can guide you, that can bring out your potential in this life, so that you can go on the path that you are destined to go on to achieve the greatest of success in this life, or this janam, as we say. I'm highlighting the Vishnu avatar and Rahu through Lord Varaha, who is a bow for this avatar, and he saved the earth from Hiranyaksha, who is also the brother of Hiranyakashyap, and Brahma granted them boons which made them immortal. And Hiranyaksha took the earth to the bottom of the ocean. He did this because he wanted to make the devas, or the gods, weak. And he misused his power, he abused his power. And the devas needed harvest, the sacrificial oblations of the mortals, or the offerings to maintain their strength. And since the earth was taken to the bottom of the ocean, they couldn't receive these offerings from the mortals. so that they couldn't maintain their strength. And Vishnu took the form of the boar to rescue the earth, and he brought it out of the depths of the earth. And since he had balanced Bhuma, Devi, the goddess of earth, on his thigh, a son was born to her. And he was created when Vishnu had been involved in a ferocious battle. And they say that this battle took a long time, so that the avatar of Varaha signifies the restoration of earth and a new cosmic cycle, and is one of the major 18 Mahapuranas, where you have described about the Varaha incarnation of Lord Vishnu, and also about the rescue of the earth. So that, the lesson here is that don't misuse the power that God's give you. Use it to help others, not to secure your power, because it can be taken away from you. There is always somebody stronger and bigger than you in the earth that will come around to teach you a lesson. I always thank God and Bhagwan for allowing me to share their knowledge that they have transferred to me, that I have sought, and they have guided my mind and my eyes to certain books and texts so that I can read and understand and analyze. I share this with you so that we can both grow and develop, and I hope that you have health, strength, safety until we meet again. See you next time. Bye.